Today's webinar is on Bookstore Builder, our new BiblioShare Shopify app. I'm Zelina Alvey, the Community Manager here at BookNet Canada. In just a minute, I'm going to pass things over to Shopify Guru Patrick McMullan to start things off with a quick overview of Shopify, which is where the app lives. Then Tim Middleton, Project Manager and Retail Liaison here at BookNet, will show you the particulars of the app itself and how it can help you build a better online bookstore. So now I will go ahead and hand things over to Patrick, who has been waiting very patiently, I'm sure, and we'll get things started.
So welcome to the presentation today. I'm just going to give you a quick run through on how to use Shopify. So specifically to the effect of an online bookstore, there's many ways to do it on Shopify if you want to sell the books physically, so send them out to your customers, or if you actually want to send them digital copies. We definitely have the means of doing it as well, and even both at the same time. So we're going to quickly run through. I'll show you how to what it takes to create a product, set up collections, and even set up a storefront more or less. And then I'll go over the nitty-gritty stuff. So taxes, shipping settings, even drop shipping on the back end. So let's get started. So first, we're going to see our Shopify dashboard. When you create a new Shopify trial, when you create a new Shopify trial, it basically prompts you to do a few things. So add a product to your store, customize the look of your store, and set up the domain. After that, that's basically all you need to do is set up a store, but we'll go through everything step by step. So orders, whenever an order is created on Shopify, you get an email notification, and it will show up here as well. So this is the general reference place. You can always check the email, but there's always going to be a lot more information for you in the order section here. Next, your customers. Everyone who makes an order on Shopify automatically gets added to the customer list, and they can also you can also import existing customers as well as add customers to this list, just for a good reference point for their contact information. Next is the product, so the bread and butter of the store. When you don't have any products added as of yet, you can choose add a product here. So we'll just click on that. Great, and this is the product page right now. So I have a few sample products right now that we'll go through. I don't have any images set up for books, but we'll just make a t-shirt product quickly for you. So we'll just call this one t-shirt. Descriptions, I highly recommend adding. We won't add one right now just for the sake of showing you how it works, but we'll just go through here. Things that are required. You do need to include a type and a vendor for each product. So vendor, we'll just put Shopify. Next, the price. So the pricing is also very important. We can choose $15 for a t-shirt. The compare at price, depending on the theme that you're using on Shopify. We'll get into themes a little bit later. You can show discounted sale. So if I put $20 in the compare at price, it'll show $20 crossed out and a sale price of $15. SKU and barcode, not required for every product, but extremely handy when you're selling multiple products and you have an internal system for those. So those are always options. And next, ability to charge taxes and require shipping. So require shipping, you definitely want to check off if you're selling a digital good. So like an ebook or anything like that, you wouldn't want to set it up as asking for shipping. But you generally always want to charge taxes unless you know specifically that your product would be tax exempt for whatever reason. Weight, also very important. So you can set it to pounds, ounces, kilograms, or grams. We'll just stick to kilograms. We'll just say it's 0.1 size. Inventory policy. So Shopify actually tracks the inventory for you. So I can choose to set it up by tracking inventory, setting the quantity here. We can set it to 5. And you also get the option to allow customers to purchase the item even if it's stock. So that would mean it automatically gets put into a negative amount. So we don't want to do that right now. I'll leave that blank. And this product has multiple options. This is the great part of Shopify. If you wanted to specifically add different sizes for a product or different options, so things that I've seen in the past for other book merchants on Shopify is that you can buy a physical copy, a digital copy, or both. So each would have its own price point here. So let's just show you how it looks here. So let's choose title. So we can change different titles. So in the instance of actual books, we can say physical book, digital copy, and both. So when I add both of these here, if I hit save, these would all be automatically added to the product. So when someone is visiting the product page, they can actually choose the difference between them all. But as we're making a t-shirt product for this instance, I'm just going to choose small, medium, and large. Great. You also have the option of adding different options. So if I wanted to mix them up, so I actually maybe offer different color size t-shirts, probably not too relevant in this, we're selling books, but you always have the option of adding an additional thing here. I could choose size, make this, oops, choose that as color, change that to size. You can add and mix and match things here. So I can say red and white. And now it's automatically going to calculate for you 10 different line items. So it'll have small in red, medium in red, and large in red, and the same thing for white. But not to overcomplicate things, we'll just leave it as small, medium, and large. We'll also choose an image, something very important as well. Let's add our t-shirts. And I will just hit save. So it turns out it does take a moment to load in, so congratulations, here it is. I'll just put a little description in there. T-shirt. Great, so let's hit save. Excellent. So we have a product here. Here's how it looks right now. So you see that this site itself is very bare bones. We haven't really done anything to it. It's just the t-shirt image that it's added. It has Ottawa's favorite t-shirt. You'll see that you can share it automatically on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google Plus, and some other ones. You can turn these on and off from the customized theme option. So if you only have Facebook or Pinterest, you can definitely remove all the other ones. And you can see here, because I added different sizes, small, medium, and large, you can definitely switch between them. We set the price range the same for each one, but you can actually say like charge a little bit of extra for a different size, all doable on Shopify. So we'll just quickly go back and we'll go to collections. So when you start a store with Shopify, it automatically comes with the front page option as a collection. So we don't need to use that. So we can actually just delete that right now. I'll show you the walkthrough for adding a collection. Let's add it in here. We can just call this favorites. Description. Most themes won't actually pull a description for the collection, so it's not always essential to add it. Next is the conditions of the collection. So you can choose to manually select the product. So that's just physically clicking the products into the collection itself. Or you can make it automatic. So if I said all product types equal to t-shirts, as you remember we labeled it as a t-shirt, will automatically be added to this collection. Everything you put in there is just added, so it's a lot less work for you in the end if you're already going to classify your product. So I'll just hit save, and you'll see that Ottawa t-shirt popped up there, which is exactly what we wanted. Next, we have discounts. So Shopify also gives you the ability to add discount codes to your site, which can be only used once. You can't use multiple discount codes. That's the time of checkout. And you can manually enter it here. So I can type in 15 off sale. I can choose a percentage off. So we can say take $15 off all orders. And there's a few extra conditions you can set. So if you want to move specific product, you can set a specific collection or a specific product or specific customers in a group. So I'll just say all orders. I'll save that discount. So now when someone enters the 15 off sale code at the time of checkout, they will receive 50% off their orders. Gift cards is next. Gift cards work in a very similar way to discount codes. They're only used at the time of checkout, but they can help your customer completely negate having to use a credit card altogether once they're there. So you can add the cart the same way. It does need to be a 16-digit code, so you can manually enter that code and send them to your clients or set them as a product on your store to be purchased. Either way works. Next is reporting. It will be blank right now as we haven't actually gone through any sales, so nothing to report, but this is available on our second tier, our professional tier, which is $79 a month. Extremely useful in terms of automatically just calculating taxes for you, all of that good stuff. If you don't have access to the professional plan, you just want to go on the first tier plan, you can always export your orders, which will export into a spreadsheet format and a CSV file. So you always still have access to that information, no matter what plan you're on. Next is blog posts. So you have a very robust means of creating blogs, multiple blogs if you want, or singular blogs, and all the posts that you want to use on them. So this one, it automatically comes in and describes it to you. This is your store's blog. You can use it to talk about new product launches, experiences, tips, and other news you want your customers to read about. The reason why we actually have a blog section on our e-commerce store is that having to do specifically with your site rankings, it's extremely important to constantly have new data. So you can have a great product, have very good sales for that product, but because you don't update any content on the store, Google might not rank it as well as if you were updating something once a week, or even twice a week, or even once every 2 weeks. As long as there's fresh content, Google really likes that, so it's going to be easier for customers who are looking for your page and customers who might not even be looking for your page as of yet to find. Next, we have pages. So if you want to create a page that's not a particular blog post or anything like that, this is the place to do it. So you'll see there's a front page that's already included and an About Us page. So the About Us page prompts you all here to just sort of write something in the description based about your company, what you're selling, and just try to relate to the customer, make it easy to read as possible. On all the blog posts and all the pages, we have options up here, so you can have formatting, folder italics, extra formatting options, alignment, text color, and you also have the option to insert tables, images, and videos. So video is a little special, you need the embed code, but you can definitely include YouTube links of interviews or anything that you have on your pages. Nothing to worry about there. I'll just show you a quick instance. We'll throw in a quick image here. I'll show you how easy it is. So it's asking to upload a file. We'll just grab one here, have one of the capital, Parliament, and there we go. So you select it, insert image, and there we go. So even though it wasn't hosted on Shopify, it took less than 10 seconds to actually add a nice vibrant image to the About Us page. As always, we like to hit save here, and it's all good. Next, we have navigation. So navigation, and I'll show you quickly. We'll just visit the storefront. Navigation is the main menu, essentially, of your store. So you have home, catalog, blog, and About Us. About Us, you'll see, is already altered based on what I've done. So About Us is a page, blogs. This is how blogs sort of are formatted. And again, this is a very basic theme that we're using right now. So there's a lot more of, it's called Launchpad, but there's a lot more free themes even from our main store that we'll go through in a minute that look a lot better than this one. This is just a test theme, as it were. So this is back to navigation in the admin. So if you wanted to edit anything, change the lookout, or the layout, I should say. So blog, if I wanted to call it news blog, that's the section I would change. About Us, exactly the way I want it. If I wanted to say the catalog, I wanted to go to the collection I just created that named favorites. It's all very straightforward here. So it's the name, where you want to link it to, you just choose from the drop-down menu and choose where you want it to go if there's a further selection. To add anything else, you just click add another link. I'll just call this one 10. And you can see I can easily move it by dragging and dropping. So I click and I don't let go. And you can put it wherever you'd like. I'll put it back down at the end. I'll hit save. Great, and that's it. And the same goes for the footer section. So at the very bottom of the page, there's footer links. So if I wanted to add maybe a terms of service or refund policy, I can add it here as well. So I just hit edit link list, add link, and refund policy. And if I made a refund policy page, I just link it up this way. Select the page, click on it from here, and I'd be good to go. So next, you'll see we'll have the themes here. So you'll see, as you right from the get-go, nothing too crazy or special, nothing too eye-catching on this theme. It's a great theme to use if you want to keep things simple, but for the sake, we'll just go to the theme store and we'll choose a new theme right now. So you'll see that there's all free and paid. So scrolling through here, there's some really nice themes you can see. I generally recommend going for one that just catches your eye in general. It doesn't really matter what's being sold, even though we have examples based on industry. So I can click on Home and Garden. I can choose this theme right here, but I can end up selling bicycles off of it. It's really not specific in any sense. The industries that we have here are really just for examples of pre-made sites. So let's just go to free themes. We'll grab one that is free and we'll use it for our product here. So I like this solo theme. I'll just click Get Theme, publish as my shop's theme. And then that's as easy as it goes. So it's loading to your site right now, nothing to worry about. Great, so we have a brand new theme. So it's blank just like the other one. So we want to click on Customize Theme. And this is where you get to completely choose how your store looks. So you can choose between different presets. So clicking on different presets will change the general colors of the theme. So let's just go back to clean. Great, this is one I like. Just to show you quickly what you can do, just to go through it, I'm going to add a slide. Quickly, this is all stuff I already have. Great, so slides, you can see that made a big difference on the storefront page. Adds a lot of color, great to use. I'll leave that there. I will show you how to quickly change featured collection. So it's on automatic right now. So nothing's actually doing anything there, but if I go to manual and select favorites, save the changes, it's automatically going to add one of the t-shirts that we had from the favorites collection. And this, it also lets you feature specific products from a collection. So we can choose favorites again. Again, we don't have too many things to distinguish, but you get the idea that if you feature different collections, you can feature products within those collections very quickly and easily. It's a lot more visually stimulating than having it done on the menu up here. So not to overwhelm you all with it because there's lots of information, but just to read through it so you can have homepage featured single products, featured collections, featured products, featured homepage content. So that's like a page that we created before. If we choose About Us and save that, you'll see it's automatically going to add the About Us page to the store here with the image we have on there already. So everything you have to do within Shopify for your web page itself and how everything looks is right here. It's automatically going to grab the content from collections and products and host them on these pages automatically for you. So no matter what page you choose, or even what theme you choose, that's always going to be the same. So if you add a bunch of products, choose a theme, don't really like it, you can change themes and the products and collections will also be there. So it's definitely awesome to play around with it. So next, we'll go to apps. I've already added the digital download app on Shopify for those of you that are going to be selling digital products. It's extremely easy to use. I'll just click on it quickly for you. So it says you don't have any products with any file attachments. So it prompts you to click on products here. So let's go here. We'll open this back up. And to use the app specifically with this product, as with all apps, you just need to go up here to the additional options button. So if I click on that, it'll show you the app. So I only have one app, so it's only going to show add digital attachments. So basically, you can add, as to what I was saying before, where maybe having a different option for each variant. So having being purchased a physical book, digital copies, or both. You can add the digital copy to the both option as well as the digital copy only option. So I can upload a file based on the variants I've chosen. So let's just upload an image. Great. So view in your Shopify admin, Excellent, and that's it. So basically, I've added it, so it's going to email a physical copy of the image when someone purchases the small option. So generally for digital products, you don't have options for variants, so it's just going to be the default option that you're choosing. But it is that easy if you have PDF or a specific reader file for Kobo or Kindle or anything like that on your desktop. You just simply click on it, choose it, upload it, and that's it. It gets emailed to the customer as soon as they purchase it. So next, we will hop over to settings. This is the sort of the inner workings of the store, not so much what's presented to the customer just right away. Basically, we have store details. So this is the actual name of your store, webinar March 30. I just added it for today. But you put your business here. This is how it's sort of represented on Google up here. So the name, homepage title, and homepage meta description. All of these are very specific to how it relates to Google searches and how it ranks on Google. So you definitely want to enter a very solid meta description there. And next, you have account email and customer email. So account emails are based off of anything to do with Shopify. We're going to email you there. And a customer email is how anytime Shopify notifies a customer, it's the email that's going to be used. So if you have an info, let's say if it was like Shopify had a store itself, I can make it info@shopify.com if that's an email that I own. And basically that can be sent out to the customer at any point in time. If they make a new purchase, it'll come from info@shopify.com. If I update their tracking information, notification will come from info@shopify.com. Next, legal name of business. So just very general, it needs to be filled out correctly. Standards and format, so you can change your currency here if you have a store specifically tailored to American customers. You can change it to USD instead of CAD. And that's basically it for the general run through on that page. Payments page, very important, but also very easy. If you start your store in Canada, you actually get access to Shopify payments. This lets you bypass the standard merchant accounts you need with the payment gateway. So all you need to do is fill out this form, and I'll show you right here. So that's a few business details, personal details about the customer or about the account owner, what you'd like to appear on the billing statement for your customers, and some banking information as well, because we do direct deposits to your account. So it's a great money saver in the end, not having to go with a paid payment gateway that you have to pay extra money to, and then with your local bank, on top of that, a paid merchant account. So we just do all that for you at no additional cost. Great feature. We also automatically create a PayPal account for you. So based on the email you use to create the store. If you don't like that email or want to use a different one that's already existing, you just need to click edit and deactivate, and it'll be good to go, and you can choose to reactivate that with the account that you already have. Other than that, we have some alternative method payments, so Bitcoin, GoCoin, Coinbase as well, and manual payments. So if you have specific manual instructions for your customers, you can do it there. And the rest down here, payment authorization, if you automatically want to capture payments, which I highly recommend. Otherwise, you'd have to go through it manually. So if your orders to really start racking up, it can be quite an additional amount of work to do for you. So definitely leave it for automatic unless your business plan calls for something else. Next, we have a checkout option. So these are additional options you can have for customer accounts. Setting fields, so you can actually add additional fields if you want your customers to include a company name. Additional options for extra address lines, so for apartment or buildings, and phone number, you can make it optional, required, or hidden. Certain times, if you're going with a specific carrier to ship your goods, they do actually require it, so it's a good thing to keep it as required if necessary. And also just for generally contacting your customers as well, always a good idea. So there's additional options for order processing. So you can actually make the customer automatically agree to receive the promotional emails and such. Additional content and scripts for tracking purposes is also there. And if you're using a separate language, so if you're changing the language of your storefront, you can change the language of your checkout here. We have some preset translations for you as well, so it's a great place to do it. Let's go back there. And also we have refund privacy policy and terms of service. So if you don't have one yourself, we just generate a sample one for you by clicking on these buttons. And this is displayed at the time of checkout. Highly recommend just even clicking on that. You can definitely go in and edit it to suit your company, but definitely include it. Next is shipping. So shipping is extremely easy with Shopify. You can set your own manual rates, or you can actually work specifically with our carrier calculated shipping, so that you can integrate with FedEx, USPS, and UPS. We also have a Canada Post app specific to Canada, which is a great option for printing labels as well as providing carrier calculated shipping for your customers. So what carrier calculated shipping is at the time of checkout, based on the weight of the good, where it's going, and the physical location of your business, which would be right up here. It calculates rates automatically for your customers. Next, we have taxes. So I also noticed that Carolyn asked a question pertaining to taxes. Taxes for physical books are different than taxes on digital books, and Shopify handles different tax rates for variance of a single product. So when it comes to variance of a single product, we can't actually alter the taxes in that sense. So, and I do apologize, I didn't know that specifically for physical books and digital books for Canada. But what you can do is if you make separate products of them, you do get the option to add tax overrides. So I'll show you right here. If you click on Canada, it's all set up for you right now. So all these tax rates are automatically there. And if I wanted to add a tax override, I can just click right down there. I select a collection. So we base it off of collection. So I'll say favorite. So let's say that favorite is the item I have in the favorites collection is a digital product. I'll set the tax rate to, I can set it to 0 for Canada, and you can base it off location too. So I can say tax rate 0, or let's say, for the sake of argument, 1% for federal tax. I'll add the override. And then I can add another override for the same collection, and I can make that provincially based at that point as well. So I can say Ontario is only going to charge 4% for that, and then that will be the overridden tax for that. Basically, so it's all calculated for you. We'll go back to the taxes section. All taxes are included in my prices as an option. That's generally not what I recommend doing. That will take a tax percentage based off what your product is. So if your product's $10 and it's not going to add that on, it's already going to be included. So it's going to grab it from the existing amount there. So not generally the wisest choice for Canadian stores. And also the option to charge taxes on shipping rates. So that's going to be based on your physical location as well. We don't need to do that, but the options are there. And again, back into, if we click on Canada, we can alter the tax rates if we know going ahead that we have specific rates. And if you're only selling digital goods, you can modify everything here for what you're selling. Next are the notifications that I was referring to before. These are basically how to get sent out automatically on Shopify then for you. So order confirmations, refund notifications, shipping confirmations, and updates. These all get sent to the customer for yourself as the store owner. You get a new order notification sent to all subscribers of order confirmation notifications, and that's done right down here. You can add email addresses as well as phone numbers if you want to send text, but generally it's just usually recommend email addresses instead. All of these also, sorry to forget to mention before, can be edited. So they are in plain text or HTML formatting. So if you have a site designer, generally advisable to go with them to edit this, or you can just give Shopify a call. We're happy to help out. It's a little advanced. It's not as easy as just typing in exactly what you want, as you can see right there. Next, domains. If you own the domain, you can link it to Shopify. It's a very easy process. We can help you with that if you call in as well. It's just sort of amending the DNS settings of your domain with the A name and B name records, or you can just choose to buy a domain here. You can test it out. So let's just I'll type in test.com. It's definitely not going to be available. It's already taken, and it also lets you choose .ca if preferable. So we can check availability for that. Probably taken as well. But you get the idea. You can choose and purchase one. If it gives you the green light, you can say purchase, and it'll let you purchase that domain. Files, if you need a file hosted on the internet, This is where to upload it. So if you are adding digital products to files, it will automatically go here in the end, so you have access to it. So you'll get a URL for that file specifically, like PDFs or ebooks and stuff like that. And next, we have accounts. So this is the main account page for your store. If you haven't added a credit card yet, still in the trial period here, you can choose to add one right there. If you wanted to add staff members, there's myself from November right now. If I wanted to add a staff member, all I need is the first name, last name, and the email address, and then I send the invite, and then they're invited to join the store. They create their own password, and their sign-in will always be their email address. And invoices. So any invoices that Shopify sends you can be viewed here. Only the main account owner, so the person who creates the account, can add staff members as well as check out the invoices. So good thing to note. And looking for additional help, this is a link to our Shopify experts. Find out more information about pausing your store. So pausing your store is a great option when your trial's over and you're not ready to start selling immediately. It lets you work on the store for $14 a month while it's still hosted and giving you access to the back end. So again, a great option. And if you have just a trial store and you wanted to close it down, click close your store there and it'll get it done for you. And that's about it. So I will pass the presenting back to Tim. And yeah, all the best, guys.
Thanks for that overview, Patrick. It really helps me to realize I'm not a guru in Shopify, and so that'll be my first caveat. So what I'm going to talk to you about is our Shopify Bookstore Builder app. So currently we're in what we're referring to as a pre-beta release. So what that means is that we have some publishers who are testing the app, as well as some retailers who are playing around with it. We're taking requests from anyone who's interested in playing around with the pre-beta, and we're taking feedback from those who are playing. So it shouldn't be too much longer before we have the app in beta, and then there's a review procedure to go through with Shopify, and then we'll get the app to get the app approved by Shopify, and then it will be live. So a few steps yet for us to go before it's into live. So before I show you the Bookstore Builder, what it does, I'm going to talk a little bit about where the data is coming from. So the data is coming from BNC BiblioShare, and what that is the place where your data needs to be, or the data needs to be for it to get into Shopify. So data needs to be in BiblioShare, and you need to be on Shopify to use the app. You may be familiar with BiblioShare data. This is a screenshot of BNC Catalyst. Catalyst is our digital product, digital catalog product, and we use all the BiblioShare data in Catalyst. So here you see the title, stuff that should look familiar, the description, all the good metadata that we use in BiblioShare. So if you're familiar with Catalyst, you're familiar with BiblioShare, and you understand the advantages of having your data in BiblioShare and then using it in an app to update that data. So BiblioShare, we get the data from either the publisher or the distributor, stored in our database. We have approximately 2 million records now in BiblioShare, as well as about close to 1 million images and growing. So now in our Shopify app, we're pulling in data from both the ONIX we receive and the images. So on this screen I'm down on the apps, and I've clicked on the BiblioShare Shopify app to show you the preferences that you can set. First of all, here's a token. So it's a token base. You have to request a token from us to get access. And then these are the fields that you can have automatically updated when the data in BiblioShare is updated. If any of these are deselected, the data won't be updated. If they are selected, that data will be overwritten whenever the data is updated in BiblioShare. So let's take a look at the Bookstore Builder in action. I'm going to go to Shopify, and I'm kind of cheating. I'm doing a semi-live presentation. This isn't all live, so I don't want things to break down on me. So I'm going to add a product to Shopify, just as Patrick showed you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this EAN over here from Catalyst, and then I'm going to add the product to my store. All I have to do is paste into the title field here, if I can. Okay. A couple times. And then save it. That's it. So now we're going to pull over all that data I showed you. There might be a bit of a delay because we are using the BiblioShare APIs, but it's not a huge delay. Once the data is in there, this is what your product's going to look like. I'm having internet problems myself. There we go. I just had to get down below. So this is now how that product gets updated, and you can see we pull in the title right away. We pull in the description. There's a main description, or long description is what we're using. We put the title in the vendor because then it's going to display on the store. We use the product form in the variant title so that if you have other product forms, you're going to be able to add those as variants. So if you have trade paper or hardcover, you can put all those variants in here with the different prices. We populate the weight. If the weight is available in the ONIX file, we pull that in, and again, the EAN. And then, of course, down here, we pull in the image as well. So here's what it's going to look like in my store. So this is automatically no manual data entry. There's my product variant, title, image, description. And the other cool thing, like Shopify has all kinds of neat little apps, is that I can add an app to allow comments. So that's what it looks like in my store. You can continue to add products one at a time, which isn't a terrible idea if you want all that control to see what gets updated. But it could become tedious. So Shopify also enables you to do bulk imports of your product as well. So for this example, I'm going to use sales data. So a number of you might be familiar with sales data. You might be subscribers and users. So in sales data, I'm going to create a query that's going to help me create a cookbook store. So I create my query in sales data, and in this instance, I'm just pulling back the EAN, the primary subject, the secondary subject, and the BISAC subject code, just so I know what I'm looking at here. And there's a few interesting things that you can do here. So first, I'm going to create this query, pull back the top 100, and then what I'm really just going to import is just this BISAC code. So we're all familiar with this crazy BISAC code in the publishing world and the ISBN. So down here is the report that I'm generating from sales data and exporting that. So now I just have the ISBN and the BISAC code. And then Shopify has a product template that you can populate. So I've just cut and pasted the ISBN into the handle field, the title field, and then I put all the BISAC codes here in the tag field. So this is a Shopify product template, and I don't need to have the tags here. I can just have the handle and the ISBN, because this ISBN is going to land in that product title field, and then the records are going to get updated automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to return to my Shopify store. And I'm going to go to the products page again, as soon as I find it. Click on the products. And then I'm going to import, choose file, happen to have it in the oven on my desktop. Products export, test CSV, open that, upload the file, and start the import. So it gives you this little message that it could take a little while to import. It will send out one of those notifications that Patrick was showing you to tell you when the bulk import is done. And there, the products are starting to come back a little quicker than I thought. So it can take a while. So I wanted to show you a few other things. You might be wondering why I bothered to import the tags. And this is one of those features that I love in Shopify. Patrick touched on it. So while the products are finishing their import, I'm going to take a quick look at setting up categories and getting them populated in Shopify. So first I'm going to go to the collections. And then in the collections, I have set up vegetarian and vegan. So let's take a look at this vegetarian vegan. I'm using the product tag, the conditions to equal to the BISAC code. So now with that tag in place, beside the EAN, when I import that EAN, it's going to add that tag to the product tag and then automatically populate my category. So take a look on my store. Oh, before I do that, I just want to show you the navigation. So the navigation that I set up, again, as Patrick mentioned, you can edit that. So here I've got my main menu. I've created a Cooking 101 main category. And then under the Cooking 101, I've created my individual subcategories. And so here's the vegetarian, vegan, and the health and healing. So that's getting populated with those collections now. So it kind of cascades down. The tag goes into the product goes into the collection, and the navigation is all of a sudden I have my merch categories populated automatically. Let me just see if the internet gods are being good to us. I'm going to go back to our product page and see how the import's coming along. So you can see now the covers are coming in, the authors are coming in, and some of them aren't. So this could be a case where either we don't have images yet. So if we don't have an image in BiblioShare, we return a default no image image. And so it's looking pretty good. I want to take a look at my store now and see how things are looking out there. And I'll just view this on the website. So there's Jamie's book, 15-Minute Meals, $37.99, hardback. There's my main category, Cooking 101. Let's see how vegetarian is doing. And yep, it's getting populated with all those vegetarian and vegan books. So that's basically our app in a nutshell. That's what I wanted to show you. I think we have a question. Lynn said, I noticed we can't import data for availability date or pub date. Is there any pre-order functionality in Shopify? That is a good question. Again, the product needs to be in BiblioShare. If it's in BiblioShare, it's going to get pulled in. So if your EAN is in BiblioShare, regardless of the date that's on it, it'll be there. And then, yes, in Shopify, I believe you can set up pre-order functionality, but that's something that I couldn't show you just off the cuff here.
So when it comes to pre-ordering, it's a two-tiered system. So to actually get the product available on the product page, to actually have it say pre-order instead of add to cart or anything like that, it does require some design work. We do have a specific step-by-step guide on how to do that. But as to what Tim was speaking about with preemptive authorization from your payment gateway, that refers to the length of time that you can pre-authorize an order. So to legally say that you're going to pre-order something, you can't actually capture the payment. Then most payment gateways actually give you 7-day authorization. So that gives you 7 days to capture the payment. Now, you can get around this by just sort of stating it in a different way, just indicating that, so when you pre-order something, you're not actually required to set the specific date when the product's going to become available. If you do set the specific date, like you actually physically know product's going to be good to go in 30 days from now, and you state as much where the customer can see it, you aren't actually required to indicate that it's a pre-order. They can just order it, and the estimated time of arrival or estimated shipping date will just be 30 days from there. So that's how you can sort of work around it. But yeah, it's definitely doable either way on Shopify, but it does very much have to do with the payment gateway you are using. And our in-house payment gateway, Shopify Payments, can only be used with a 7-day authorization period, and that unfortunately can't be changed.
There is a quick question from Carolyn. How often does the app pull data from BiblioShare, new data from BiblioShare?
The way it works is as soon as the product data, well, there is a bit of a time lag, sorry. So if the data is updated, it's going to pull in the new data. So if you update a price in your ONIX record, it goes into BiblioShare. We have a nightly transfer over to our web services, so there's the time lag. And then as soon as it's on that side, it will be updated when there's a on event on the web page. So if a customer loaded your page, they would see the updated price.
All right, sounds good. If you have any other questions, please feel free to get in touch with either of them. And thank you very much to Patrick and Tim for presenting today, and to all of you for joining us and bearing with us. And we'll be in touch very soon. Have a great afternoon, everyone.